Hi everyone, welcome to My Green Closet. So there have always been issues with cultural appropriation in fashion. Most recently we had the Kim Kardashian shapewear collection come out, very inappropriately named kimono. Although with this one in particular, I just can't help but feel that this was maybe a PR move. That family is all about getting press and they got a ton of free press around this, and now she's apologizing and will be changing the name, but there are still so many cases of cultural appropriation in fashion. And while this is a topic that has been covered a lot, and I'll link to some really great pieces to check out down below in the description, it continues to happen. I also think that this is a discussion that's important to have, especially around ethical fashion, because there are a lot of brands that work with artisans and cooperatives in different countries and cultures, and we want to make sure that the clothing being made is respectful of those cultures. And this video is in collaboration with Matter Prints, which is a brand I'm an ambassador for and absolutely love, and I think they're a really wonderful example of how a brand can appreciate and celebrate artisans in different cultures through fashion. So first, what is cultural appropriation? It's defined as taking elements from another culture that isn't your own without understanding or respecting the history or significance. This is especially important to be aware of as a white person because we have a horrible history of stealing from and oppressing other cultures, and to an extent are always appropriating in some way. But with cultural appropriation in fashion, often styles, accessories, and garments that people have been discriminated against for wearing are taken and used as something cool and trendy without any thought or respect for the origin of that style. So how can we appreciate fashion from other cultures without appropriating it? There are some simple do's and don'ts. First, definitely avoid wearing any religious or ceremonial garments or motifs. These are sacred to cultures and shouldn't be commodified or used as a fashion statement. Really think about why you like a certain cultural item, and if the reason is that it's cool or trendy or you saw it on your favorite YouTuber or Instagrammer, then it's important to first do some research into the background and significance of that item. Also consider how the garment is perceived on different people. So is it maybe seen as cute and trendy on a white woman, but then perhaps viewed negatively on a woman of that culture? Next, buy from brands that fairly work with artisans and people of that culture. Fast fashion brands really like to recreate cultural fabrics and designs, and I have a video more about real versus fake ECAT, which I will link up in the cards. But I think if you're buying pieces from another culture, it should be made by and directly benefit people of that culture, and not be some kind of knockoff. And when you're traveling, I think it's really good to avoid the typical souvenir shops where a lot of the stuff isn't made locally, and instead support and buy directly from the local businesses and makers. So essentially, it's important to not only appreciate a garment because you like the style or that it's cute or trendy, but to really appreciate the craftsmanship and significance and culture behind it. There is an incredibly beautiful and rich history of clothing and textiles from around the world, and learning more about that and the cultures they come from is only beneficial, and it can also make your clothes so much more special. Matter is a great example of a brand that celebrates cultures and their textiles. They work directly with the artisans to develop their patterns and motifs using traditional textile techniques, and the artisans are paid fairly for their work. They also have a lot of information available and like to show behind the scenes of how their textiles are made and what the motifs represent. Then they use these textiles in modern and unique designs, so they aren't just recreating existing styles but developing their own designs, while still giving credit to the cultures they draw inspiration from. I absolutely love all my pieces from Matter, not only because they're super comfortable and functional clothes, but knowing more about how they were made and the history and craft that went into them makes them even more special pieces in my wardrobe. Also, their classic jumpsuit is such a great design. I have been so impressed with it. Not only can I style it a ton of different ways, but I have been able to wear it throughout my entire pregnancy so far because it has this super clever adjustable waistband. And you can also check out a blog post I wrote about my favorite versatile clothes, which includes all my Matter pieces, and I will have that linked below. But now I really want to open this discussion up because I know I always have a lot to learn around topics like this, and I'd really love to hear your thoughts on cultural appreciation versus appropriation. Is this something that you've experienced? Do you have any other do's or don'ts to add? And yeah, I'd just love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Thank you for watching, and thank you so much to those of you supporting me on Patreon. You guys can also check out my ebook all about how to quit fast fashion, which I will have linked below, and I'll see you in the next one.